Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rick, and I'm here for something a little different, but something kind of the same. So recently, as many of you guys might know that watch my channel, I was challenged by the Blu-Ray Hunter to do a movie challenge where you list the top 10 favorite movies of the year you were born, which I did and challenged others. However, it was brought to my surprise when I got a message on Instagram by Nathan, known as Nannerale TV, that he was tagging me in a new movie challenge. The part that kind of took me back was I wasn't really familiar with Nathan's channel, so I checked it out. He has a few thousand subscribers. He puts out really good videos. He has a really good sense of humor in his videos. So I watched his video, and sure enough, at the end of the video, he challenged me. And he's calling it the 10-year movie challenge. It's kind of accurate. It's kind of not accurate. Basically, what the challenge is I need to pick out my favorite movie from 2008 until 2018. Obviously, 2018 is only halfway over. So it's technically like a 10.5-year movie challenge. But I'm not going to argue with it. He came up with the challenge. I accept his challenge. So before I get into it, I have some iced tea here. Before I get into it, I'm going to mention his channel again, Nannerale TV. The link will be in the description box down below, along with the 5 people that I am passing the challenge on to. What I wanted to do is, because I've recently done one of these challenges and sent the challenge out to 5 people, I am challenging 5 different YouTubers to make a video. So they're not the same people I challenged last time. They're different people. They are Blu-Ray Bullet Brit, Pete, Absolute Sublime 1, Dr. Movie 91, and I keep looking at a piece of paper here, Durant Cinema, and last but not least, Martinez Joe 74. You're being challenged to do this. Like I said, it's your favorite movie from 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the first half of 2018. Obviously, when you guys see my video, you will know what I'm talking about. I will mention who I'm challenging again at the end of the video. But I'm going to get right into this. And the other awesome thing is I own all the movies that I'm going to be discussing here, except for the 2018 movie, and that's because it is not out yet on Blu-ray. So, 2008, I feel like the obvious one to everybody is going to be The Dark Knight, and that was what I initially had, and I was kind of tossing it back and forth because what I wanted to do is I wanted to find movies that I really enjoyed personally. Not necessarily maybe the best movie of the year on like my top 10 list, but my favorite movie of the year. So for 2008, that movie is The Wrestler, starring Mickey Rourke, Evan Rachel Wood, directed by Darren Aronofsky. I really, as you guys know, I'm a fan of pro wrestling. So this movie really, I liked it a lot more than the average person enjoyed it, I think. Plus, last year I got to go to Asbury Park, so I got to see where some of the stuff was shot for the movie. So that was even more cool for me to experience, shooting locations for this movie. Just a great story. Mickey Rooney. I feel like I keep saying Mickey Rooney. I don't know if I have. Mickey Rourke is the star of this movie. He is amazing in this movie. This was kind of like the rebirth of his career, and not much happened. Iron Man 2 or 3 happened, where he was the villain. But I really love this. He plays Randy the Ram Robinson, and it's just a great story. And like I said, as being a lifetime wrestling fan, this movie really resonated with me. So for 2009, I went with Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, an amazing movie. Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz in pretty much his breakout role, in which he is just amazing in this movie. Obviously, let's see who else. Michael Fassbender, Eli Roth, Daniel Bruhl, Melanie Laurent. they're all in it. What's the other guy? Mike Myers is in it. The guy from Freaks and Geeks, and I'm totally blanking. Sam Levine is in it. So Inglourious Basterds is just an excellent movie. The opening scene of this movie, I can rewatch over and over. It's just a great, great film. It's one I really enjoy. One is rewatchable. Even though it's a 2.5 hour movie, it has, excellent rewatchability in my opinion. So that is Inglourious Basterds. Next, 2010. I don't know if you guys can really see the cover art there, so I will show you the inside cover art, and that is The Social Network, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake. I'm totally blanking on names tonight. It's going to be a long night because I'm recording multiple videos. The girl who's in it, I'm totally forgetting her name, Rooney Mara, Rashida Jones, they're all in this. This is the story of Facebook, and talks about Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins. It's just such a good movie, so funny. Probably, in my opinion, Jesse Eisenberg's best role ever. I don't think he's come close to duplicating it, in my opinion. He was amazing in this movie. I'm not sure if this movie got a ton of Oscar wins. I don't know if it got any. I assume it got nominations, but a really good movie. Had a lot of competition in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. I was going to do honorable mentions for each year, but I didn't want to make this video even longer than it needed to be. 2011, I think, is really going to throw some people for a loop when I show you my favorite movie, because the first time I watched this movie, I actually was not a fan initially. But through rewatching it, I've come to appreciate it, obviously, a lot more than I initially did. And it's probably become one of my favorite comedy movies of the last decade. And that is Bridesmaids. And the other thing I will say about this is it is probably my favorite Melissa McCarthy movie by far. This is one of the only movies I can still watch and not get annoyed and aggravated watching Melissa McCarthy. I watch stuff like Life of the Party, Tammy, Heat, The Heat. There's so many of them. The Boss. And they just all blend together. Her being foul-mouthed and over-the-top slapstick. And it just doesn't work for her, in my opinion, all the time. But this movie was so funny, so well written by Paul Feig. You have Kristen Wiig, you have Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, all tremendous supporting actresses in this movie. You have actually one of the first roles of Rebel Wilson in this movie before she became too over the top and annoying, in my opinion. By Pitch Perfect 3, I was over it. Her and How to Be Single was brutal as well. But this movie really captured probably the best performances of most of their careers so far. Also, Ellie Kemper from, The Unforgettable Kimmy Schmidt, I believe. But yeah, just a really funny movie and just a really great story. John Hamm has a good supporting role in it. So that is my favorite movie from 2011. Next is 2012. And this is probably going to be kind of a controversial one if you are familiar with movies that were out in 2012. Because my favorite movie was Silver Linings Playbook, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, who else? Jackie Weaver, Chris Tucker. Now, once again, as you guys might know, I am a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, and there's a subplot in the movie that takes place. The movie, I believe, is in Philadelphia, so there's a subplot where the family are huge Eagles fans. They badmouth Giants and Cowboys fans. Just a very, very funny yet sad look at mental health, and just it's such a good movie. I really do enjoy it. The cast is amazing. I have a real weak spot for Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper as well. Both just really good, and they were both excellent in this movie. It was cool to see Chris Tucker in a movie again. because I felt like when this came out, he hadn't been in anything for a long time. Like back Fifth Element, Rush Hour 3, obviously Rush Hour 2, Money Talks. Like, he disappeared for a long time, and he was in a supporting role, and I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite movie of 2012. Now we're going to get into some, a lot of these, I would say 3 of the next 5 movies are probably some of my favorite movies of all time. First being 2013's Wolf of Wall Street, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, by Martin Scorsese, based on a book by Jordan Belfort. I've read the book. The book is amazing. The movie did the book justice. What a crazy movie, but that was this guy's life. Martin Scorsese did an amazing job with this movie. It was the birth of Margot Robbie's career, and she's a major movie star as well now. Matthew McConaughey is in this movie. Just an excellent, over-the-top, 3-hour, drug-laden, profanity-filled, sexual innuendo explosion on the screen that is entertaining. And for a 3-hour movie to be this rewatchable and enjoyable is insane to me. I do need to get the Steelbook. 3 of my next 4 movies I do own on Steelbook. This one I do not yet, but I will eventually. Wolf of Wall Street, my favorite movie of 2013. Next, my favorite movie of 2014. Another one of my favorite movies of all time. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with this director, Damien Chazelle, and that is Whiplash, this being the Steelbook. Miles Teller, who is from the area I live in, within a half an hour. He was born in Downingtown. J.K. Simmons is phenomenal in this movie. This movie is so good. The only complaint I really have when I think about this movie is the side plot with the girlfriend. I believe it's Melissa Benoist from Supergirl. Didn't really go anywhere. It felt like an added distraction that didn't really add to the story. If this movie was Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons the entire time, that would be enough, I believe. But they have to obviously throw in some side characters. Paul Reiser is his dad. But man, this movie is awesome. The little bit of blood on the drum, on the cymbal, I should say, kind of ties this movie together. I've watched the last 15 minutes of this movie no less than probably 40, 50 times. I watch it on YouTube occasionally. It is so intense. Obviously, when you watch the movie as a whole, it makes it that much more powerful. But the drum performance at the end of this is excellent. This is Whiplash, my favorite movie from 2014. Now, my favorite movie from 2015. We're getting ready for a sequel this year. It's dropping, I believe, in November. So I'm very excited about that. Once again, a movie that takes place in Philadelphia, where I live in the suburbs of, and that is Creed. Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, just a really excellent movie. I know a lot of people were skeptical when this came out. They were like, we're really getting a new Rocky movie. Do we really need another Rocky movie? And Michael B. Jordan really took the ball and ran with it. Ryan Coogler, I believe he wrote and directed this, did an amazing job. He was also the writer and director of Fruitvale Station, of Black Panther. So, Creed is an awesome movie. Not just like, I love sports movies, I love boxing movies, fighting movies, stuff like The Wrestler, The Fighter, Warrior, all great movies. The Rocky movies, of course, Southpaw. But this movie was really well written. Really powerful story, and the way Creed 2 is shaping out to be, with Drago's son challenging Creed, there's so much backstory already built in there. If you're not familiar with the Rocky movies, do some research or watch the Rocky movies before Creed 2 comes out. Make sure you watch Creed, because it's going to be awesome, it's going to be intense, it's going to be emotional, and that's what this movie is. Creed. Now, 2016 should be the most obvious movie on this list. I shouldn't even have to show it, talk about it, point at the poster of it, point at the pop figures of it. It's probably one of my favorite, probably top 10 movies of all time now, and that is La La Land. I just wanted to show off the Steelbook, so I didn't pick up the regular one to show you guys. I picked up the Steelbook. You know, this was the first CD. When this movie came out and I saw it, I went out and bought the soundtrack in the store on CD. It was probably the first CD I'd purchased in like 5 to 6 years. I went to multiple stores to find the soundtrack to this because I love the music so much. The story of this movie is great. Obviously, it does not hurt that Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone are the two leads, and they're two of my favorite actors in Hollywood. This movie was awesome. I know some people are so sick of it. I think it was overrated. Some people think it was a musical. It's okay. That's fine. I respect everybody's opinions. I love this movie. It's actually, I'm coming up. I need to rewatch this very soon. It's just such a beautiful movie. The music is great. The acting is awesome. I love La La Land. Here it is, my favorite movie of 2016. My favorite movie of 2017, a movie I need to rewatch because I haven't checked it out since I saw it in the movies. That is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. You know, just a really... It felt like a Coen Brothers movie. It was funny. It was sad. It was intense. It captured so many emotions so well. Frances McDormand was amazing in this movie. She deserved that Best Actress so much so. Woody Harrelson is great in the movie. Sam Rockwell was amazing in this movie. Peter Dinklage is in the movie. He's great as well. Who am I forgetting about? John Hawkes, Abby Cornish, both great. But it's a Martin McDonagh film. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I really do need to rewatch. I love the slipcover too. It has that matte finish, and then the writing's glossy. So it's a really good movie. I need to rewatch it, to be 100% honest. But when I was looking at 2017 stuff, this definitely was at the top. There were things like Shape of Water and Guardians of the Galaxy and Baby Driver. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Baby Driver that were close, but that movie really stuck with me for a while after watching it. I really enjoyed it. And then last but not least, from 2018, my favorite movie is Avengers Infinity War, and I'm recording this July 14th, so it's everything I've seen in the first 6 months and 2 weeks of the year. Avengers Infinity War is my favorite movie of the year thus far. Can't wait for a rewatch. I really do want to rewatch it. After that first initial viewing, just the way that movie ends and just sucked out all the like air from the theater with the snap of a finger. I've never been to the movies, or especially a Marvel movie, and just had the end credits be dead quiet. And just people just in shock staring at the screen. Avengers Infinity War did that. It made me super excited, more so for Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I recently watched. Captain Marvel, which I had very little interest in, and now is probably one of my most anticipated movies of next year. And then Avengers 4, title to be determined. But Avengers Infinity War is my favorite movie of 2018. That is it, guys. My favorite movies from 2008 to 2018, one from each year. Thank you, Nathan, for challenging me. I am going to pass the challenge on, like I said, to the following 5 YouTubers. Blu-ray Bullet Brit, Pete, Absolute Sublime 1, Dr. Movie 91, Martinez Joe 74, and Durant Cinema. I'll shoot you guys all messages on Instagram, so before I drop this, you're aware. And if you watch any of their channels, leave them a comment. Leave them something on Instagram that they have been challenged to the 10-year movie challenge. So that's it, guys. I'm done recording this one. I got multiple videos that I want to try and knock out tonight. Got some pickups. I'm going to do a few more collection videos because I've slacked big time with recording recently. But I did clean up my shelves. I think the last time I filmed a video, I had piles of stuff. I did reorganize the collection, so it'll make the rest of my collection videos in the intermediate future easier. So I'm done. I'm calling it quits for now on this video. Be sure to check out the description box down below where you can find links to Nannerale TV, Nathan's page, and then the other 5 guys that I challenged. All the links can be found down below. Also links to my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Blu-ray.com profile, my eBay account, all that stuff. Letterboxd, where I rate and review everything I watch, can be found down below. As always, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep producing new content for you guys to check out. Hit the notification bell so you guys know when my new videos drop. And as always, and until next time, who's down the movie?